this is your first coaching gig. Just what's it been like for you so far, transitioning from an athlete to a coach the past few months?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't think like coaching wasn't on the top of my list for like career choices. But I think kind of once my season ended with COVID and everything, just like seeing how I just felt like I couldn't just be done with the sport and leave it at that. I feel like I needed to be able to finish how I wanted to. And I feel like I just still had so much more to give to the sport. And I've always coached young girls, like summer camps during the summer. And I've always enjoyed that. Like I always thought it was fun. It didn't feel like a job. And when I just thought about it, I'm like, what if I just do coaching and see what it's like? And I've really enjoyed the transition. And it's really cool to be able to connect on like going from me being the athlete connecting to the coach. Now I'm the coach trying to connect with the athletes. So that's been cool, just building those relationships and seeing how those translate to success for the athlete.
Having your first meet as a coach last Friday, were you like, oh, I wish I was out there, or do you now enjoy the coaching, spectating part of it?
Yeah, I mean, of course, I love gymnastics, and I mean, I still play around here and there. But I feel like I've been able to accomplish everything I wanted to as an athlete. So now I think my new challenge is just seeing how far I can take my athletes and to where I can push them and bring them to new heights. And so last week I definitely was nervous, but I just had so much fun with the girls. And I think just being able to coach them through, especially a tough week with all of just having one, not knowing if we're for sure going to have the meet and having multiple girls out. And then just being able to pull a full lineup and have them hit, which is such an amazing feeling. And I was really proud of them.
You and Jordan, you've obviously been together for a while now, but being together now as both as coaches, just what have you learned from her? And does any part of her journey make you want to do the same thing and maybe one day become a head coach too?
Yeah. When I was looking at this job, like she asked me if I was looking at other places, and I told her that honestly, when this volunteer spot opened up, I just feel like I had to jump on it because I really wanted to learn from her and just to see that what she's done as a head coach and where she plans on taking this program and the success that she's had in just these few years here. I really admire her for that. And I was like, I want to learn from the best. And so it's been really cool to just see how she is as a leader and for the team, and also as a leader for the staff. Just she's always wanting us to learn as much as we can. And so I really appreciate that from her, and just being here in these past few months. I just am so honored to be part of her staff.
How much have you enjoyed working with this specific team so far? It's a pretty unique team. I mean, because you have a bunch of veterans, but also a lot of freshmen and sophomores who can contribute as well. Yeah,
it's kind of like you said. We have a lot of older, like really experienced 5th and 6th years, and then we have the freshmen. So it's kind of tilted on the ends, and I think it's really cool to see how just as a team, like the leaders are really trying to push the freshmen, and then the freshmen also with the skills that they have and the routines they're putting together, they're pushing the seniors to even go past their boundaries. And so I think that's cool to see each side pushing each other, which will build the success for the whole team.
So going to tomorrow night, like you said, you've only had one meet at Barnhill, but just what does it say about this program that you guys are going to get to compete at Bud Walton in front of a much bigger crowd than can even fit in Barnhill?
Yeah, I mean, it just shows how much success that Jordan's had with the program, and she plans on taking it to really big heights and to be one of the best and most competitive teams in the nation. And so to have our first ever meet as an Arkansas program in Bud Walton Arena, I think just shows that we're really serious and that the team is ready for these challenges.
So as a former Olympian, do you like to watch the Olympics like this past summer? Were you tuned in for Suni Lee and all the other girls?
Oh yes, yeah. Actually when I was in Arkansas when team finals were, because that was when I came out to look at this job. And so I was with Jordan, we watched it together.
So what was it like for you to watch this past summer, and just what are your impressions of Suni Lee going into tomorrow where you're going to compete against her?
Yeah, I mean, one, I commend all the athletes. I mean, I can't even imagine just having to postpone the Olympics for a year and then still all the craziness around COVID and being able to just try to be at their best when their best was needed. So I think I really just commend them for just staying resilient and really pushing through to have a competitive team. And I mean, I love watching Suni's bars and just the thing, like no one does bars like Suni. And so I'm excited. I've actually never met her or seen her gymnastics in person because I'd finished on national team before she started. And so I'm excited to see it in person.
She's in a position now that I think few can probably relate to, but you actually can. What was it like for you going from the Olympics to NCAA gymnastics and then becoming a student athlete after being on the biggest stage?
Yeah. I mean, I know it's a tough transition, but I think you just can't put too much pressure on yourself. I know that's kind of the big thing is, I mean, all eyes are on you, it feels like, but I just really focused on being a part of my team and just really wanting to contribute and just be like the other athletes on the team. And that's what helped me kind of keep steady and stay humble and be able to deliver when my team needed me each week.
Was it difficult at all to try and be, a normal student athlete, I guess, especially with your team when, you don't want them to look at you as, the Olympian and whatnot, you're just trying to be a part of the team?
Yeah, I think you just, from the very beginning, you just have to establish that your job is the same as all your other teammates, is to contribute to the team and just do as much as you can in practice outside of the gym and in the meets. And so I think just establishing that from the beginning helped my teammates just see that I was serious about being there for them. And then I think, but it's also a cool experience because there's girls that they're the same age as you, but they don't have that experience. So I think there's something in that where you can really, they can go to you for advice. Whereas what is it like to compete under these sort of pressures and in this sort of situation? And that's where the team can learn from her.
And then just what were some of the biggest differences for you, training for the Olympics and then, having to have schoolwork on top of that and also just a totally different style of gymnastics at NCAA?
Yeah. I mean, I was still in high school when the Olympics were going on.
Right.
I mean, it was in the summer, so I didn't have school, but I think growing up, I went to public school. So I still had to balance doing schoolwork, going to school, bringing it on the road while I was in different countries. And so I think that kind of gave me the experience to head to college where, yes, you have a lot of coursework. You have to bring it on the road with you. You have to do study hall. Sometimes you even have to take exams on the road. And so kind of practicing that when I was younger, I think that helped me for when I went to college. And then like gymnastically, or is that even a word?
Sounds good.
On the gymnastics side, I think just the biggest change is you're competing every single weekend and or Friday night. And so I think just learning, I think as a freshman, you learn a ton where it's like, okay, what do I need to do during the week in the gym that's going to make me feel my best on Friday or the weekend when I compete. And so I think that's the biggest change is like the turnaround is so quick. It's like, okay, you just finished the meet and in a blink of an eye, you're traveling to the next city. And so just learning how to manage all of that while, like you said, keeping up on your studies.